Today, food was delivered to families staying in this Southshore building. In recent days, 57 Venezuelans moved into this building on South Essex. That's according to Chris Amator, who says he owns the building.
I just decided, hey, I got the heat on, I got gas, I got electric, water. I go, let's film and we'll worry about the details later.
And that, folks, is what we call a liar. He ain't worrying about details later, but we'll talk about that. Let's have some small talk before we get back to the video and play it a little bit longer, and we'll cover this dude. Good morning, everybody. It's early. 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. Well, earlier. While the migrant crisis continues to cost the city of Chicago $40 million plus, let's give credit to where credit needs to be given, and that's not to the city of Chicago, that's to the taxpayers. A city, months and months and months ago, Brandon Johnson said it was costing the city $40 million a month. That's $480 million plus per year towards illegals. We have a problem, and the problem is the only way out of this is by the government either stopping what they're doing or the people taking control. And it's to the point now where people are threatening riots, they are threatening violence, they are threatening to take back to the streets, just like when the George Floyd days and stuff were happening, and they seen that was the only way that they were getting attention. That's the only way that they were getting anything done. That's the only way any reform was happening, is through violence. Because being kind and standing there and protesting doesn't do anything. And voting doesn't do anything. A lot of people say, look what happened with this last election. You really feel like 80 million people? Come on. Think about it. There's no way. But it is what it is. This is where we're at. So a lot of people, even though they're flapping their parties that they're supporting, they're not Democrat no more, they're conservatives. They still don't have any faith in the voting system in general. They don't have any faith in their government in general. They don't have any faith in trusting specific people from the cities that they're in. And the reason I say that, and I say it kind of lightly, but I mean it when I say it, is older white people that are liberal seem to be unchangeable. No matter what, they've drank too much of the Kool-Aid, and they just won't switch. They'll never switch. Everything could be falling apart around them and be a direct reflection or fault of whatever liberal that they follow. They will not switch. That's just how they are. Older white liberal women seem to be the worst. Older white liberal men are just disastrous. And a lot of these older white liberal, and I hate to say it the way I am, but it's the truth, are really fucked up, man. They're really messed up. And I notice a lot of them come from like the teachers unions, or have something to do with the schools, or have something to do with like charities or homeless shelters and stuff like that, or people that are in charge of organizations that are funding money that are supposed to be giving to aid other people. They're the most corrupt, fucked up people. Just look at the fact that what was like UNICEF and Red Cross and the Doctors Network organizations and stuff like that we're working with, that are still and we're working with, teaching illegals the route to take and how to come here illegally and exactly where to stay, and the maps that were passed out all through Mexico and South. All the people that went along the journey with these people and were like, why is there a UNICEF tent here? Why is there a FEMA tent here? Why is there a Red Cross tent here? All these people are helping, and they're aiding in this illegal activity. So all this money's being funneled through these organizations. Why do we trust these people? Why are we doing anything with them? Why do we need them? I think it's it's sad that we can't even trust the organizations that are supposed to be for disaster relief or disaster prevention or economic struggle. You know, these companies that specialize in this stuff. I think what they specialize in is they specialize in laundering money using that as an scapegoat. And they know what they're doing. You think $480 million a year is actually going to these migrants? I bet you a huge portion of that, 60% of that, is probably going back into the politicians' pockets. You notice how Mayor Johnson, whenever he's getting grilled by the people from the city, he'll just stand there with his hands in his pockets and he acts like he doesn't really care. Although the tabloids say that he's been in the hospital several times for panic attacks because of how the stress of being the mayor of the city is. Yeah. And let's not talk about how the government is now really pushing into the pockets of American landlords, American landowners, property owners. They're really pushing into their pockets. And when somebody's saying, hey, take this money, take this money, take this money, what are you going to do? Say no? Check this case out right here. Let's listen to what this guy says. Let's go back and let's recap it real quick. This is a property owner in Chicago. He owns 15 properties. Supposedly, this property, a couple years ago, was supposed to be used as low-income property. This triple stack apartment building this guy has was supposed to be used as low-income property, and it was supposed to be a program with the government. This guy was going to turn into like low-income community type housing. Government was going to foot the bill, at least a portion, or the majority of it. When word of mouth is from people in the neighborhood, what ended up happening is the government wasn't upholding their end of it, so the guy had to get people out of there because you can't have people living in a place that's not getting paid for. Fast forward a couple years, now all of a sudden we got this migrant crisis, and guess who's now working and talking with the government? So even though in this video the guy's like, oh, worry about the details later, I just wanted to be nice and kind to people and just move people in because they deserve a fair shake. Buddy, blow it out your ass. Blow it out your ass. Miss us with the BS. We know exactly why you did it. Government money. That's it. It's not that you didn't care about what was going on before you moved these people in there. You just flat out moved them in there because the money was right. You don't have to lie. You ain't got to lie, Craig. Let's watch the video.
Today, food was delivered to families staying in this Southshore building. In recent days, 57 Venezuelans moved into this building on South Essex. That's according to Chris Amator, who says he owns the building.
I just decided, hey, I got the heat on, I got gas, I got electric, water. I go, let's fill them and we'll worry about the details later.
Over the last 9 days, Amator says he felt moved to offer shelter in his vacant apartments after visiting the city's landing center and a shelter for new arrivals. Amator says over the last 9 days, he, his family, and a couple of volunteers have taken in 448 adults and children at 15 of his residential buildings. Some neighbors posted video of the building on Essex, alleging people were breaking into the building and that the building was not safe.
It's frustrating.
Veronica Cotton is a lifelong Southshore resident and new business owner. But she shares she and her sons were homeless a couple of years ago, and they didn't get the help they needed.
Not saying that it's not right to help them, but it's not right for others not to get help as well.
Amator tells us there was no break-in on Essex. While he acknowledges his impromptu efforts to help new arrivals was not the most organized, today we even saw windows being unboarded. Amator challenges other building owners to step up during this crisis.
Yeah, step up and sell out. Just like the guy right behind the Brighton Park migrant camp that's being put up there, where the residents are tired of what was happening. They protested, they got together, the EPA came in, found that the ground was contaminated. The migrant park couldn't be put up there. But through the process of me investigating everything and actually following the property line and showing you guys in a video how large this property actually was, I was able to link up with a 40-year Latin American resident that's been here for 40 years in this community. And he said, you know, the sad thing about it is right here, This very apartment building right behind the park where it was supposed to be. That guy kicked out all the Americans and all the people that were in there paying for their rent that were good tenants to get on government contract, and now the government has given him a couple $100,000 to remodel the apartment building so he can get it ready for migrants to be moved in, and he can put them on government contract and move more people in under government contract and make more money. Yeah. What do they say? If you can't beat them, join them. There's a lot of American property owners that are. They can't beat them, so they're joining them. There's only so long that that's going to be able to be a honeypot for them before it's shut down. Anyhow, hope you all have a great day. Be blessed. Have a safe weekend. Try to stay away from any problematic areas with unruly Venezuelan migrants that are just out looking for no good. Take care. Be blessed. Keep your head on a swivel. And God bless you. That's all.